What's up, everyone? So, we have an incredibly stacked fight night card this weekend at UFC Austin, December 2nd. We've got the main event, Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan. We've also got incredible fights on this main card, so I'm going to go ahead and break them all down, give you guys my predictions. I think I'm pretty good at predicting fights, so if you want to place some money, I think you could trust me a little bit. But anyway, let's get right into this. So the first fight we have is Panelli Soriano versus Dustin Stoltzfus. I'm going to be going with Panelli Soriano to win this fight by probably a first or a second round TKO. I actually thought Soriano was really good whenever he first came to the UFC. I remember he was undefeated. He had a couple good knockouts, I think, before the UFC, and then he fought. I think his first loss was Brandon Allen, if I'm not mistaken. He's got a lot of power, and he's really talented on the feet. He's got good boxing, but I just think that if you mix it up with Soriano, those are his only weaknesses. And I just don't think that Stoltzfus is gonna have the best takedowns against a guy like Soriano. I believe that because Soriano in the Maximo fight, arguably he damaged him in that fight a lot more. He showed some pretty good scrambles in that fight though. Because Maximov was a pretty decent wrestler. He got choked out by Petrosian, but it's all right. But I think Soriano's just gonna have a lot more danger to him. He's really young as well. He's got that Hawaiian strength. So I think I'll be going with Soriano by a knockout. Plus, Soriano's only really lost to extremely good fighters. He ran into Kopylov, lost to Brendan Allen. I mean, those are extremely good names. Kopylov could be a future top 5 fighter. And Brendan Allen's on a crazy run right now. So, yeah, I definitely think Soriano is good enough to beat a guy like Dustin Stoltzfus. All right, next up the card, we have Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva. I'm actually going to end up going with Joaquim Silva to win this fight by a second round knockout. I believe that Clay Guida is very good and it will be tough enough and willing enough to push a pace on Silva in the first round. But I think once Silva starts getting settled in, I think his power is going to be a little too much for Clay Guida. I believe that, the danger that he has on the feet, even on the ground sometimes, I think he'll be able to catch Clay Guida eventually. He looked really good against Arman Tsarukyan. And plus, we've seen Clay Guida kind of do very well, but he's also lost to some not so good people. He just recently lost to Claudio Puelles, I think his name is. Yeah, he recently lost to him. But yeah, I think that Silva's going to give him a little bit too much to worry about, too much danger. Landed a clean shot on Arman Tsarukyan, which was really impressive. But yeah, definitely I'll be going with Joaquim Silva to win this one by a knockout. Next on the card, we have Sean Brady versus Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum returning to 170 pounds. I like that he's fighting a grappler instead of a striker for his return back. No one's going to be chopping at his body, wearing on the gas tank, testing how the weight cut went or anything like that. And I just don't think that Sean Brady is big enough or has the high level of jiu-jitsu necessary to control or submit Kelvin Gastelum. And also, we all know if Bilal Muhammad's making you worried about his shots and he's TKOing you, Kelvin's got a lot more pop. He's way more accurate with the straight shots, I think. I think he's going to defend a couple takedowns early from Sean Brady. Maybe Sean will take him down a couple times, but I think Kelvin will get back up for sure. And once he starts figuring out the timing of Brady's shots, stuffing way more and more takedowns, I think Sean Brady's going to be a lot more hesitant. He's going to be a lot more doubtful with the takedown attempts that he's going to be going for against Kelvin Gastelum. I also rewatched Gastelum versus Whitaker, and of course, Gastelum lost. Whitaker schooled him, but Gastelum was able to take down Robert Whitaker for a second with a nice double leg whenever he was exhausted in the fourth round. Of course, Whitaker popped back up, but Kelvin still got him down, But also, I'm aware that Kelvin also did get taken down and controlled in the fifth round, but this is a 3-round fight. I like how Kelvin is way more prepared for a grappler, so I believe he's going to handle it way more in this fight. I think he's going to be very disciplined for this camp. He's looking pretty good. He's looking strong, but yeah, it's going to be an incredible fight. Kelvin's just way too powerful for him, He's been going against way bigger guys at 185 defending their takedowns. I don't think Sean Brady has the jiu-jitsu to do it, and I don't think he has the size to do it especially. So yeah, definitely going to go with Kelvin Gastelum, third round TKO. Next, up the card, we have Deiveson Figueiredo versus Rob Font. Figgy making his debut at 135 pounds. I just don't think this is going to be a good fight for him right now. I believe that Rob Font's going to win by a knockout in the first round. Just the straight shots, the height advantage, size advantage, reach advantage. I think the offense is going to be way too much for Figgy to handle, especially since Figgy's coming off of a long layoff. He's taken a lot of damage recently, and he doesn't have the size advantage over these guys anymore like he did over the flyweights. Figgy's gonna go out there, try to land a couple of leg kicks, try to slit Rob Font's jab and land his own right hand over the top. I just don't know if it's gonna work out. I think he's too small to dominate Rob Font with the grappling, and I just believe that Font, with the more time that he's had, he's gonna prepare for the grappling way more, and I just think that he's gonna hit Figgy a lot in this fight. I don't think Figgy's gonna be able to give off any offense at all in this fight. I don't think he's gonna be able to figure out the timing of Rob Font exactly. So plus with the power that Font's been showing recently, against Adrian Yanez, who's also an impressive boxer, I just don't think it's going to work out for Figgy. I think Font, with the punches he's going to put together, I think he's going to go right for Figueiredo. I think he has a point to prove after the Sanhagen fight. I think he's going to be hungry for this one. He's asked for this fight before, so I think he knows it's a good matchup for him. So for sure, I'm going to be going with Rob Font by a knockout in the first round. Next, we move on to the co-main event of the card. We have Jalen Turner versus Bobby Green. Jalen Turner stepping in on short notice. We'll see if he makes weight. But anyway, I'm going to be going with Jalen Turner to win this one by a second round late knockout. Maybe early third round. I'm not sure yet. But, I just believe this is a really hard matchup stylistically for Bobby Green, especially now that it's a 3-rounder. I believe that Jalen Turner is going to be putting a lot of damage on him early. I think he's going to be chopping to the legs, hitting Bobby Green with body shots, and once he starts opening up with the shots upstairs, I think it's going to be really hard for Green to kind of pull back, slip, and counter on Jalen Turner, and I think that if Jalen Turner follows up with like a 2-head kick, as Green maybe tries to lean out of the way, he'll land it and he'll put Bobby Green out cold, and I just think that Jalen Turner is going to cause way more damage, and he's way more dangerous early than Dan Hooker would have been, so he's not going to let Green really get off and figure out the timing too much, plus he's taller, he's rangier than Dan Hooker, it's double of what Green was preparing for, I think, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely going to be going with Jalen Turner by a late second round TKO, maybe early third round though, with like a head kick or something. And now for the main event of the evening, we have Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan. I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush to win this one by a split decision win. Now hear me out. I know we're not supposed to use MMA math, but if we compare the Gamrot fights between these two, Beneil completely shut down Gamrot's game. He had insane scrambles in that fight. Gamrot had nothing for Beneil on the feet, and he just got completely shut down. And with Arman versus Gamrot, I know a lot of people think Arman should have won that fight as well, but in the 4th and 5th rounds, Gamrot was out hustling, out scrambling, and controlling Arman for a little bit in the later rounds of that fight, So I believe whenever it comes down to the grappling between these two, it's going to be evened out. It's going to be canceled out for sure. So it's going to come down to the striking. And I think Beneil is a little bit too experienced for Arman. I don't think Arman's tools, like the lead body kick that he uses against people, it's really good. I don't think it's going to work against Beneil very well because of Beneil being a southpaw and stuff. I just think Beneil's going to be a step ahead the whole time. And Arman's very good. He's young. He's fast. He's still growing. He's still improving. And this could end up being his coming out party. I just believe in Beneil Dariush, for sure. He got knocked out by Charles, but he was on an insane win streak before that. And he's very well-rounded. He's been in the UFC for a very long time. I just think he's going to be a step ahead this whole time, for sure, in this fight. Arman will keep up with him. It'll be competitive. And let's be honest, guys. The reason why I'm saying this is going to be a split decision is because whenever a top contender loses to the champion or another top contender and they get fed the up-and-coming guy, the judges tend to lean towards the new prospect on the block. Amir Albazi. Rob Kaikar friends. But anyway, yeah, that's why I think it'll be competitive the whole time. Arman will keep up with him. It's just Beneil will land the cleaner shots from the southpaw stance, 1-2s, front kicks, body kicks of his own from the southpaw position. I just think he's going to be ahead of Arman the whole time, pretty much. So yeah, this is going to be a great fight. I'll go with Beneil Dariush by a split decision win. Let me know what you guys think of this card, who you guys think is going to win in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. First prediction video done. I'm sorry, you guys, if I wasn't making too much sense. I just wanted to get my feet wet with this one. I'll be doing the full cards for sure in the future. Yeah, I just wanted to shake off some of that ring rust. But I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. Yeah, bye-bye.